Hey everybody and welcome back. Hope your guys' Wednesday went pretty well. Now I know there's a lot of No Man's Sky gameplay coming from me this week, especially on Monday, and as well, I didn't upload yesterday just because there was nothing to talk about. I mean, the Xbox One S did come out, but it's not something I really felt the need to talk about. Yeah, it's like 40% smaller, and what else am I going to say about it? I mean, I'm not going to buy it, so I'm not really going to give my own personal opinion on it. I hope to get back on track with the normal gaming news schedule here with some gaming news, but we'll have to see how it goes. I mean, looks like No Man's Sky is the hot topic right now, so I might as well keep talking about it because I'm dedicating these videos just to No Man's Sky just so I can give you guys my full opinion on it and explain it and whatever. Alright, so let's just jump right into the news. So it looks like No Man's Sky is already working on their first big update. Now this update isn't looking like it's going to be addressing bugs and stability. Well, it probably will. But Sean Murray wrote, 5 a.m. at Hello Games, wrapping up a month of work on our first update. Lots of new features, balancing, and content. So it looks like it's going to be adding possibly new free content to the game for the future, but nobody really knows exactly how that's going to work. Murray also said he hasn't stated yet when we can expect this update, considering that it's already almost done. So it looks like it's targeting for a day one patch, or so have you day one DLC, not DLC, jeez. Oh my gosh. Day one patch for No Man's Sky. If I can get my words out and put them in the right places, I might be able to talk. So it looks like this could possibly be a day one patch, I'm assuming, because he said he's wrapping up a month of work on their first update. So I'm going to assume that it's going to release on release day, but we'll have to wait and see. Alright, moving on to the next piece of news. Looks like you cannot keep your Spadoctyl, if that's how you say it. That's basically killing off a species. I'm not going to keep saying the word because I really don't know how it's pronounced, and I'm not going to sound like an idiot today, even though I already have because I can't talk. Anyways, let's just jump right in. So, pretty much you can't kill off a species online. It's not going to affect everybody's game. I'm like, alright, who honestly cares? I mean, I guess Sean Murray even came out and said, you'll probably not see, like, another different... If you see one species, chances are nobody else will see that same kind of species in the game. So that's pretty interesting. But this is what Sean Murray had to say, and I guess there was some mixed information and claims that you will not be able to wipe out a species and deny it to other players. So this is what he had to say. If you do something of significance, we will try to share that. So explaining like the big events of destruction of a space station or the elimination of an entire fleet will affect everyone else's game. It says, if you kill a bird, we scratch that off locally and the bird is dead. But we don't feel the need to broadcast that to every single player. He said, ultimately, the decision to not have basically killing off a species through everyone's game, he says, it's not that hard to implement, it's just when we looked at it in practice, it's pretty much impossible. They aren't thinking about an entire planet. An Earth-sized planet filled with deer and trying to track down every single one of them. So yeah, for them, it just gives them more work, and they really don't feel the need to implement that in every single person's game. Which, I get that. There's no point to really track. Like, if you kill off a certain species in the game, they're not gonna pretty much have you kill off a species, and it's gonna affect everybody else's game, because to me, that's more work for them, and it's like he said, it's not that hard to implement, but it's just not worth it, because what if somebody else, because basically, if you see that species, nobody else is gonna see it ever again if you kill it off. So chances are, like they said, you probably won't see anything else that somebody else will see, but by chance, if you were to see it, you'd never see it. You know what I think you guys would understand what I'm saying? So if you kill off the species, you'll probably never, ever see it. Or nobody else will ever get a chance to see that same species you did. So I can kind of see where he's coming from there. I mean, people would actually I'd be pretty upset. So I'm kind of glad it's offline only, so it only affects the local game that you're playing, not anybody else's. But I guess he said it's possible. He didn't really deny. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I mean, I wouldn't have even thought of that as a question, but I really could care less. I'm more about the exploration aspect of the game, so whatever. So moving on to the last piece of news. It looks like, I guess, this is pretty much what I want to talk about today. It's hoping that No Man's Sky doesn't pull another Destiny, or I guess, they didn't say it in this article, but or a Watch Dogs kind of game. Now don't give me crap, you guys. Watch Dogs, it had a really good concept, it just kind of sucked, kind of like Destiny, you know? So, the Destiny hype train, obviously, in the run-up to its September 2014 release, Bungie was just riding that hype train like you could not any farther. They milked that cow dry. They really do. Whatever. I don't care. That didn't make any sense. They were riding the hype train up until E3. They're like, we spent $500 million on this game, and it's going to be so amazing. Then Bungie's a very good developer, so, I mean, you get a horde of people to want to buy their game. They're like, yeah, this is a reputable company. Great game. They're hyping this up. This game is not going to fail. And whatever. People might say, oh, Destiny's the greatest game ever. Well, that's to you, but for a lot of people, it sucks. And it wasn't the gaming revolution that people or players were asking for, so that's not really... They were expecting, like, basically narrative and some immersive RPG elements that were disappointed. And the backlash was immediate when the game released, if you guys just don't remember. It's kind of like a backlog on the game. So I guess the game failed, long story short. So they got the hype train going like No Man's Sky did, and now the game came out, and it sucks. But according to, I guess they had Damiums, that's how you say his name, that guy who leaked all the gameplay and stuff. He basically had the spoilers saying, No Man's Sky. But then people were beginning to accuse No Man's Sky developer Sean Murray of lying about No Man's Sky. So, I mean, Damien was quoted advising gamers against canceling their pre-orders. The seed of doubt had been planted in the minds of several players, and unsettled footage that appears repetitive and revelation that there's no grand story behind each player's journey. Now, you can't really go into this game expecting. Here is what I'm expecting out of No Man's Sky. Like, front to back cover. Like, people go over and hype games up to the max, and you can't get any higher than what you are. No Man's Sky is a game where there's no story, okay? It's basically like, I don't really want to say it, but it's kind of like Minecraft, procedurally generated, there's really no story kind of thing. It's survival, okay? Now, what I expect out of No Man's Sky, and I'm setting my expectations where realistic expectations. I'm not overhyping it, I'm not undercutting the game either. So I envision this game, you start out, okay, in the outer part of the space station, space, galaxy, universe, the universe, that's what it's called, the universe. And you're in a ship, or you're even starting on a planet. I'm not entirely sure. One of the two, I'm leaning towards you're going to be in your spaceship, and then you fly to your first planet and do whatever. And you explore, you gather materials, you trade with the other alien life forms out there. I know there's like space stations and stuff. You try to learn languages to give you key elements of the game. And it's not really story driven, like I said. But I envision you gather materials, you go around the planet, get back in your ship. If you want to check out more of the planet, you go around in your ship, maybe just fly a little bit lower. Just kind of scan, look like, oh, this could be a good area, get out, do the same thing. Gather materials, get some fuel, get your hyperdrives going. I don't even know if there's fuel in the game. I don't think there is. I hope there isn't. Anyways, regardless, you gather materials, you trade them up to keep upgrading your ship to get towards the center of the galaxy. Now, the game will probably... to some people, that might sound really boring. But to me, it's really, because it's going to be with me, I'm going to go to one planet and be like, do I want to leave this planet now? Because if I leave it now, I might be missing something that I could be seen. Or if I want to go check out this planet over here because it looks really cool kind of thing. I'm not going to be one of those players that are like, let's get to the center of the galaxy really fast. Like, ultimately, yes, I want to get there. But I want it to be a surprise to me. But I want to enjoy the game. That's all I expect out of the game is because I've envisioned one of these games for a long time, and I feel like No Man's Sky would do a very good job at this. And hopefully it's VR compatible. If it's not, no big deal. I mean, whatever. But I think it'd be fantastic to work with my Vive. Other than that, I think that's all I expect. You start from the outside of the universe, you try to work your way in, you land on different planets, you get your hyperdrive going, you upgrade, trade in stuff, whatever. And then you ultimately will reach the center of the galaxy in X amount of hours. But it's going to be longer than that for me. The guy said he got there in 25 to 30 hours. I don't buy it, but whatever. But for me, like I said, I'm going to land on a planet, gather materials, search stuff, see what's going down there, fly back up into space, be like, whoa, what's in that planet over there? And I'm going to either want to do that, or I'll be like, maybe I'll go over here and check this out first, before I even were to leave the planet or something. I don't know. I don't expect a whole lot of the game. It's just what I want to do in the game, basically. And I think, and I'm not being overhyping this game. People are just hyping this game up to the max. And it sucks because they're like a lot of people are going to be disappointed by it, but I know what to expect and I know what it's going to be. I took a step back realistically. I'm like, you know what? This game looks like it could be very fun and my expectations are set to realistic standards. I don't know why people keep trying to hype this game up and whatever, but it's not a good idea to keep hyping games up. Like, yeah, developers make them sound cool and whatever have you, but it is what it is and that's how it's gotta be, you know? I don't know. Next week, Tuesday, it's coming out, so we'll have to wait and see if it's gonna be just like Destiny. I highly doubt it's gonna be a Destiny or a Watch Dogs. As long as your expectations are set low, guys, it's gonna be a good game for you. Like, there's no story mode, there's kind of, I guess, an RPG element where you gather materials and you have to fight to survive. It's a survival exploration game. So, I mean, it's gonna be very, very fun. And I don't know what else to say. I mean, that's all I expect out of the game, and I think it will deliver to those standards, I guess. So, yeah. That's No Man's Sky news again today. I don't want to make this video too long. But, yeah. I just don't overhype the game, guys, and you won't be disappointed. So, I mean, if you guys have any questions or concerns, I'll try to answer them down below in the comments. But other than that, we'll be playing No Man's Sky next Tuesday. And I cannot wait. That's going to be really fun. And just cannot wait to play this game. But that is all I want to talk about in this video today, guys. Make sure to like, comment, rate, and subscribe. And follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Have a good one.